TSUTigers.com here with head coach Rod Reed. Coach, talk a little bit about your defense.
Well, I think defensively we've made some strides during camp. I think that our guys have really taken hold of Coach Fisher and his new defensive system, and it has allowed me to do a few different things and kind of get around and see what's going on all around the field. I'm not so much as on one side of the ball anymore, but I do pay a lot of attention to what's going on over there on the defensive side of the ball. I sit in the meetings and things of that nature, but I think that the guys have grasped the defense pretty well, and I think that they're working really hard to become a great defense. And, Coach Chapman has come on the defensive line along with Coach Davidson. And then Rico Council is stepping in, coaching up the linebackers for us this year. Coach Powell is in the secondary, as well as Coach Fisher coaching the safety. So they've done a really good job. Had a really good scrimmage this last time out. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to the next scrimmage, because I always tell them, one scrimmage doesn't make a great defense. You got to be able to put together back-to-back scrimmages and games and whatnot if you want to be considered one of the top defenses in the country. So I always challenge the defense. I'm a defensive guy, and if things aren't going well in practice, the guys will always say, well, he mad at the defense, so we're going to have to run after practice. The offensive guys, when they win at practice, they say that I'm kind of biased, and, deep down inside I am a little bit, but I really get great pleasure in seeing both sides of the ball do well. But if you can dominate on defense, everybody knows defense wins championships, and it's the defense's job not to lose the game.
When you get a new coordinator, sometimes you do get that little different energy, from the team, trying to learn something new, do something new. How do you feel it's been going so far with Coach Fisher, and what are some of the things that he brings to the table for you?
I think it's been going great. Although I thought Osita Alaribe did a good job with our guys, I think that a change of face was needed, and I think that Coach Fisher has come in and done a really good job getting the energy up on our defense and getting our guys excited about playing defense again. So he brings a lot of energy to the table. Has a young, energetic staff over there that really works well with the guys on and off the field. So it's great to see those guys starting to mesh together and starting to know each other, and hopefully it'll mean great things for us down the road.
Now, Nick Davison is back for another season. Sidney Powell moves over to the defensive side, and then you mentioned Gerald Chapman, coming in new. So it's kind of a whole new staff. Kind of talk a little bit about them as a whole, and where you see them going.
Well, Nick and Gerald both are young guys, and they bring a lot of energy to practice. They bounce around a lot more than I can. Kind of look like me in my younger days, I guess, but you like to see that energy in practice on the defensive side of the ball, because, when you play defense, a lot of emotion is involved in it. So to see those guys bouncing around every day in practice and individual drills and 9-on-7 and team is good to see, and it helps those guys to get up. And they're doing a heck of a job coaching in the classroom also. So that's really good. Those guys are able to do that. And Coach Powell, he came over from the offensive side last year, but he had coached DBs for a while at Ball State, Tennessee Tech, and some other areas, and he's done a really good job with the corners. And Coach Fisher stays on those safeties all the time in run fits and in the pass game. So I'm really excited about the staff that we've got together on that side, and I kind of oversee that whole thing, and I'm not calling anything, but they always know I'm watching on the defensive side. But they've done a really good job, and I say they've kept me out of the meeting room, and when they're able to keep me out of the meeting room, that means that they're doing a pretty good job over there.
You made one mention about Rico Council earlier. What's it? How great is it having one of your former players, an all-conference, player of the year, and someone who spent some time with the Titans and on the practice squad and such? How great is it having Rico around?
Really good. Because he knows exactly what I want out of linebacker play. He's implemented some of his own things that he's picked up along the way, but some of the grassroots stuff that we've always done with the linebackers, he continues to instill in those guys, and I think he's doing a heck of a job of kind of creating his own brand of linebacker play with some of the stuff that he's learned and some of the stuff that he's learned from me, and I think that's great. So I think he's going to be a great coach. He has a bright future in this business as long as he keeps his nose to the ground and keep learning every day.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, go Big Blue.